Loneliness after narcissistic abuse. Welcome back to our channel, where we dive deep into the often dark and intricate world of mental health. Today, we are going to tackle a topic that is incredibly painful and unfortunately all too common: loneliness after narcissistic abuse. This is a subject that is not often talked about, but one that can leave lasting scars on the hearts and minds of those who have experienced it. Definition of narcissistic abuse. First, let's define what narcissistic abuse is. Narcissistic abuse is a form of emotional and psychological manipulation that is perpetrated by someone who has narcissistic personality traits. These individuals are often obsessed with themselves, lack empathy for others, and are driven by a relentless need for admiration and validation. They use their charm and charisma to draw others in, only to systematically break them down emotionally and mentally. Effects of narcissistic abuse. The effects of narcissistic abuse can be devastating. Victims often find themselves feeling isolated, confused, and worthless. They may have their sense of self-worth shattered as the narcissist constantly belittles and undermines them. This can lead to profound feelings of loneliness and despair as the victim struggles to make sense of what has happened to them. One of the key tactics that narcissists use to maintain control over their victims is isolation. They work tirelessly to cut off their victims from friends, family, and support networks, leaving them completely dependent on the narcissist for validation and approval. As a result, when the relationship finally ends, the victim is left feeling utterly alone and abandoned, with no one to turn to for help. Healing from narcissistic abuse. Healing from narcissistic abuse is a long and arduous journey. It requires facing the painful truths of the past, learning to trust oneself again, and rebuilding one's self-esteem from the ground up. It also involves reaching out to others for support, despite the deep-seated fear of betrayal and rejection that the victim may feel. This process is not easy, but it is absolutely necessary in order to move forward and break free from the cycle of abuse. Coping with loneliness. One of the greatest challenges that survivors of narcissistic abuse face is coping with the overwhelming sense of loneliness that often accompanies the aftermath of the abuse. It can feel like no one truly understands the depth of their pain and that they are doomed to walk this path alone. But it is important to remember that there are others out there who have gone through similar experiences and who can offer empathy, understanding, and support. After going through such a traumatic experience, it's normal to feel isolated and alone. But I'm here to tell you that you are not alone in this journey. Connecting with others. One of the most powerful ways to combat loneliness after narcissistic abuse is to reach out and connect with others. Finding a support system is crucial in healing from narcissistic abuse. Surround yourself with people who lift you up and remind you of your worth. Seeking professional help is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. Whether it is through therapy, support groups, or online forums, finding a community of people who have been through similar experiences can be incredibly validating and healing. Therapy can provide you with the tools to heal and grow from your past experiences. It can help survivors realize that they are not alone and that there is hope for a brighter future ahead. Self-care and self-compassion. Self-care and self-compassion are essential tools for anyone who is recovering from narcissistic abuse. Self-care is not selfish, it's necessary. Take the time to prioritize your well-being and nourish your mind, body, and soul. Rediscover your passions and hobbies. Embrace the things that bring you joy and make your heart sing. It is vital to treat oneself with kindness and understanding and to prioritize activities and practices that nourish the soul and the mind. This could include things like meditation, journaling, exercise, or spending time in nature. By taking care of oneself in this way, survivors can begin to rebuild their sense of self-worth and reclaim their lives from the grips of the narcissist. Opening up to vulnerability. One of the hardest things for survivors of narcissistic abuse to do is to open up and allow themselves to be vulnerable with others. The fear of being hurt again can be overwhelming, and it can feel safer to keep one's emotions guarded and protected. But to truly heal, it is essential to take the risk of opening up to others, sharing one's story, and allowing oneself to be seen and heard. This can be incredibly empowering and can help to break down the walls of isolation and loneliness. It's time to reclaim your power and rewrite your narrative. You are strong, resilient, and deserving of love and happiness. Remember, healing is not linear, and it's okay to have bad days. But know that you are worthy of a life filled with love, happiness, and peace. In conclusion, the road to healing from loneliness after narcissistic abuse is a challenging and painful one, but it is a journey that is worth taking. By reaching out to others, practicing self-care and self-compassion, and opening up to vulnerability, survivors can begin to rebuild their lives and move forward into a brighter and more peaceful future. To anyone out there who's feeling lonely after narcissistic abuse, I see you, I hear you, and I stand with you. You are not defined by your past, but by the strength and resilience that lies within you. Together, we can overcome anything. Remember, you are not alone in this struggle, and there is hope for a better tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time on our channel. Stay strong, stay hopeful, and never give up on yourself. You are worthy of love and happiness. End of video.